The Micah Parsons contract situation is quickly becoming one of the most frustrating storylines, not just for Cowboys fans, but for anyone who follows the NFL closely. It's hard to overstate just how much time and energy this saga has consumed, dragging on far longer than anyone expected or wanted. Micah Parsons, one of the brightest young stars in the league and arguably the most important defensive player on the Dallas roster, remains unsigned and without a long-term deal, and the frustration is clear not just from the fans, but from Parsons himself. Despite some public comments from Jerry Jones and various team insiders, Parsons insists he is not upset with the Cowboys owner. But the reality is the lack of progress and communication is creating a lot of noise and uncertainty around the team. Parsons has openly talked about how he's observed other top players around the league getting their contracts done and feeling valued by their organizations. He's mentioned the likes of T.J. Watt, Max Crosby, and Myles Garrett, all of whom recently secured significant deals that reflect their importance on the field. It's no secret that Parsons wants that same kind of respect and compensation, especially considering how dominant he's been since stepping onto the NFL stage. Yet, what's baffling is the repeated pattern from the Cowboys management of dragging these contract negotiations into long, drawn-out affairs that don't seem to have a clear reason behind the delays. This isn't the first time Dallas has been involved in these kinds of sagas. We've seen similar drawn-out negotiations with key players like CeeDee Lamb, DAK Prescott, and Zach Martin. Each time, the process seems to be unnecessarily complicated, leaving players feeling undervalued and fans growing impatient. The bigger problem is how this ongoing drama affects the locker room atmosphere. Players notice when their teammates aren't being paid or appreciated the way they should be. It sends a message that the organization isn't fully backing its own talent, which can cause distrust and division within the team. Parsons himself has emphasized that communication is a two-way street. He notes that while his agent has reached out to the Cowboys multiple times, it seems like the team isn't reciprocating with the same urgency. At some point, he suggests it shouldn't just be on the agent or the player to keep the dialogue going. The Cowboys front office needs to step up and engage in meaningful negotiations. This stalemate leaves everyone involved stuck in a frustrating limbo. It's worth noting that Parsons' camp has made it clear from the start that they want a deal. There is no indication that he is trying to hold out or create leverage by sitting out practices or training camp. On the contrary, Micah has shown up to team activities and has expressed commitment to his teammates and the organization. He's simply waiting for the business side to catch up. This makes the ongoing delays even more perplexing. The Cowboys' pattern of hesitation and delay also fuels speculation and rumor mills, leading to all kinds of theories about what's really going on behind closed doors. Is it purely financial? Is there some kind of personality clash? Or is it just poor management? Whatever the root cause, the end result is the same. The team's best defensive player remains unsigned, and the public relations nightmare grows with each passing day. The whole situation paints a picture of an organization that struggles with handling contracts efficiently and fairly. One of the most striking aspects of this saga is how it contrasts with the approach taken by other successful NFL franchises. For instance, teams like the Philadelphia Eagles have set a clear example of how to take care of their top players quickly and decisively. Parsons himself has acknowledged that if he were on a team like the Eagles, his contract would already be done and there wouldn't be this ongoing drama. But in Dallas, the process feels outdated, stubborn, and needlessly complicated. Micah has also expressed that while he understands the business side of football and knows contracts can take time, the length of this negotiation is disappointing. He thought the deal would be done by now, especially after the recent meetings with the team's ownership. The fact that training camp has started and there's still no contract is a blow to his morale and creates uncertainty about the future. Parsons makes it clear he wants to stay in Dallas and perform at the highest level, but he also acknowledges that if the team decides they don't want him, he's ready to move on and take care of his own family. This is more than just a contract dispute. It's about respect, trust, and how a franchise treats its cornerstone players. And when a player like Micah Parsons feels the need to fight tooth and nail for what he deserves, it sends a negative message about the culture within the Cowboys organization. Players aren't just battling opponents on the field every week. They're also dealing with challenges off the field, including management struggles and ownership decisions that don't always feel supportive. The whole ordeal has become exhausting for everyone involved. It's a situation where logic fails, to provide answers because the delay simply doesn't make sense. Fans are left wondering why it's so hard to finalize a deal with one of the league's best defensive talents. Media outlets and insiders have tried to dissect the issue from every angle, but at the core, it seems to boil down to a lack of urgency and poor communication from Dallas. Meanwhile, Parsons has maintained a professional attitude, continuing to participate in team activities to some extent. Though his involvement in full team drills remains limited, it's clear that he's eager to be on the field, playing football, and not sidelined by contract disputes. Reports indicate that some of the reasons cited for his limited participation, like back tightness, might be more about preserving leverage than actual injury concerns. The tension between Micah and the Cowboys organization is palpable, and fans can only hope that a resolution comes sooner rather than later. The longer this drags on, the more it undermines the team's chances to build cohesion and focus fully on the season ahead. Parsons is a unique talent, and having him unsettled benefits no one. As this saga unfolds, other players on the Cowboys roster are also feeling the effects. Trayvon Diggs, for example, recently spoke out after the team applied a salary de-escalator clause in his contract due to his absence from voluntary workouts. Diggs defended his decision to rehab away from the team, stating it was the right move for his recovery, even though it wasn't well received by the organization. This has sparked conversations about the future of Diggs in Dallas, especially given the growing tension between the player and the Cowboys front office. Jerry Jones and his family have been vocal about their displeasure with how Diggs handled his rehab, comparing it unfavorably to other players and suggesting some dissatisfaction with his approach. This kind of public criticism doesn't bode well for the player's long-term standing with the team, and may indicate the beginning of the end of the Diggs era in Dallas. These contract disputes and public tensions highlight a deeper issue with the Cowboys' management culture. When money becomes a source of frustration rather than motivation, it often signals trouble ahead for player retention and locker room chemistry. The examples of Amari Cooper and Trayvon Diggs both show what happens when the organization's patience wears thin. They let financial disagreements and rehab approaches strain relationships, sometimes beyond repair. On the defensive line, changes are also causing concern. Mazi Smith, who played better last year at a heavier weight, is reportedly being asked to drop weight under the new coaching staff scheme. This shift away from fitting the scheme to the player's strengths is worrying. Smith's power and presence at over 320 pounds were integral to his performance, and cutting weight to fit a scheme rather than adjusting the scheme to the players seems like a step backward. The Cowboys' defensive line looks to be trending toward a smaller, lighter group, which may not be the best move given the personnel. Players like Solomon Thomas and Perry and Winfrey are on the lighter side for their positions, and the approach feels reminiscent of previous experiments that didn't pan out well. This raises questions about the coaching staff's ability to maximize the talent they have, and whether the team's philosophy on the defensive front is aligned with success. All of this contributes to a growing unease around the team as training camp progresses. The ongoing contract dramas, the dissatisfaction from key players, and the questionable coaching decisions on player usage and scheme all paint a picture of a franchise at a crossroads. The Cowboys have the talent to compete at the highest level, but the internal struggles threaten to hold them back. As fans, all we can do is watch closely and hope the front office can get its act together. Resolving the Micah Parsons contract would be a huge step in the right direction, not just for the player and the team, but for the overall morale and culture within the organization. Until then, the drama will continue to dominate the headlines, overshadowing the football that should be the main focus this season. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Dallas Cowboys. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. Rumors are swirling around the Dallas Cowboys as tensions reportedly flare between star wide receiver CeeDee Lamb and quarterback DAK Prescott. During a recent practice session, sources close to the team suggest that a heated argument broke out between the two key players, an altercation intense enough that the Cowboys organization allegedly decided to separate them from the rest of the squad. While details remain scarce and unconfirmed by the team's official channels, insiders hint that the disagreement was far from a minor spat. The rumored clash could have serious implications for the Cowboys' chemistry and performance, given that Lamb and Prescott are central to the team's offensive strategy. Such a public display of discord, especially in front of teammates and coaching staff, has raised eyebrows across the NFL community and among fans. Speculation is growing about what triggered the confrontation. Some believe it might stem from frustrations with recent game performances or disagreements over play calling and leadership roles. Others suggest that off-field pressures and high expectations for the season could be boiling over, leading to cracks in the locker room's unity. If the reports are true and the Cowboys have indeed removed both Lamb and Prescott from team activities temporarily, it could signal a major shake-up. The front office might be considering disciplinary measures or mediation efforts to restore harmony. But the timing is critical, with the season in full swing. Any disruption involving their offensive stars could jeopardize the Cowboys' chances of success. Fans and analysts alike are watching closely, debating how this internal conflict might affect Dallas's pursuit of a playoff run. Will the Cowboys manage to reconcile their differences quickly? Or is this the beginning of deeper issues that could hamper the team's cohesion? The coming days are sure to be filled with updates and reactions as this story unfolds. For now, the Cowboys organization remains tight-lipped, fueling the rumor mill further. But one thing is clear: when two of the team's biggest talents clash so publicly, the consequences could ripple far beyond a single practice field disagreement. Stay tuned as this developing saga continues to capture the attention of the football world. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Dallas Cowboys, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.